after finishing second in the Heisman and deciding to return to Louisville, I expected maybe a little bit more hype or fanfare about my decision to return for my senior season, but I wasn't expecting to not even be the first team quarterback for our conference. Looking at the receivers, Chris Bell's our wide receiver 1 and Rich Crawford, the sophomore, is our number 2. At tight end, we have Carson Gay and Kenny Wiggins, our other sophomore wide receiver that's 6'6". Again, if you missed the last video, it was great that our bowl game came against Auburn, an SEC team, because we'd face our first test of the season in the opening week in the Chick-Fil-A kickoff game against Tennessee. We started the season where we had left off my junior year at the number 15 team, and 2 key changes to the offense are that Amari Huggins-Bruce obviously was drafted by the Jets, and coaches allowed me to take full control over the offense, changing plays or routes at the line based off of what I'm seeing from the defense. It was great to feel that level of trust to run the offense compared to when I was a freshman or even my senior year of high school. We struggled to score in the first quarter against Tennessee's defense, and they were playing very physically, picking up a face mask, and then once we got into the red zone, our fumbling problem with our backup running back showed up again, but this time it was Wilson who's our backup running back as Maurice Turner has taken the starting spot. But we got the ball back really quickly, and I hit Chris Bell on a quick in, and he took it the rest of the way, breaking off 1 tackle and scoring our first touchdown of the season. I was looking slippery on this play. 2 or 3 defenders just slid off of me, and I picked up another first down. During my freshman and sophomore season, I hated running the ball because I wanted to be like Patrick Mahomes, picking apart defenses with my arm. But my junior year, I realized that I was only hurting my team by not using my legs. I ended up running for 1,500 yards in my junior season, averaging over 100 yards per game, and if it ain't broke, then I wasn't going to try and fix it. With 40 seconds left, we had a shot to take a 2-possession lead over Tennessee, and I put way too much touch on this ball, allowing the DB to come in and pick it off in the back of the end zone, and I was definitely looking a little rusty as a passer. Like I said a second ago though, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and I got past the safety, taking it 60 yards for the touchdown to get us back within 4 points. But Tennessee scored another touchdown, putting us down by 11 points, and we had to drive down the field with only 3 minutes remaining, and on 4th and goal, Wilson took it into the end zone, making up for his fumble earlier in the game. And the defense showed up again, getting another huge stop, getting us the ball back with a minute remaining. I ran outside the pocket and picked up the first down and ran out of bounds to stop the clock at 46 seconds left. We had no timeouts left, but I found Carson Gay over the top with a nice touch pass, and we ended up getting a crazy last-second win in the Chick-Fil-A kickoff bowl versus Tennessee. There were definitely some skeptics after that victory over Tennessee, especially because they were an unranked team, so we only moved up 2 spots in the rankings, but on the first play of the game versus our next opponent, I took it 75 yards to the house for our first touchdown of the game. Tennessee is obviously really different from an FBS team, but we needed to show that we could blow out unranked teams, and that's what our goal was for this game. We had a 30-point spread before the game, and we wanted to see if we could beat it. Obviously, there's no gambling allowed for college players or professional players, but I take it in for our second touchdown of the game on the read option keeper. Now, Rich Crawford made a huge leap in his sophomore year already. I can already tell through 2 games that he is a force to be reckoned with as he takes the jet sweep all the way for the touchdown. I have not seen a single receiver do that on our team. One thing I cannot stand, especially against clearly inferior teams, is showboating, but we were doing whatever we wanted. John Wilson gets in for another touchdown, and it's 28-7 at this point when I run outside the pocket and let 2 defenders fly out of bounds before I dive into the end zone for another score to take a 4-touchdown lead before half. I finished the game with 6 total touchdowns, 7 carries for 120 yards, and 250 passing yards, but we only ended up winning by 30 points, which basically was a push. We did not beat the spread because that FCS team scored 2 touchdowns late, and we won 51-21. And our next game would be the most important of the season so far, playing against our rivals Kentucky. Doesn't matter if they're 1-1 and we're 2-0 and we're the number 10 team in the nation. In any rivalry game, anything can happen. You always got to take it seriously. And I was throwing some dangerous passes to start the game. Coach drew up a great read option play though as I took it into the end zone for our first score of the game, but Kentucky answered right back. And last year when we beat Kentucky, we barely squeaked out a game-winning field goal. This year, obviously, expectations are much higher for this squad, and as a result, we need to show how much we've improved. In the first quarter, offensively, we were getting chunk play after chunk play. First on this read option pitch out to Maurice Turner, who took it for 24 yards, and then on the next play, I found our new star receiver, Rich Crawford, on a slant, and he did the rest of the work, picking up the first down, and on the following play, I threw another scary pass, almost getting intercepted by the linebacker, and it should have been a return for a pick 6. But on 3rd and 5, I found our tight end, Carson Gay, in the flats for another first down pickup, and then on the goal line, we ran a read option, and Kentucky was definitely ready for this time, and we lost 5 yards. But on 3rd and goal, Amari Huggins-Bruce's favorite route, the corner route, we found Rich Crawford for the touchdown to regain the lead 14-7. And Kentucky couldn't answer, and we were already moving down the field, getting into the red zone with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Maurice Turner did a great job breaking a few tackles on a halfback screen, and then we found none other than Rich Crawford for his second touchdown of the game off of his 5th catch. Kentucky scored one more field goal, but we were trying to put a dagger in them before the end of the first half. We were throwing deep balls over the middle to Carson Gay, but on the second attempt, the safety undercut the route and picked us off before the end of the first half. Kentucky came out and scored a field goal on their first drive of the half, and finally we got Chris Bell his first touch of the game on a curl route, picking up 10 yards, and then on 3rd and 5, we ran it with Maurice Turner, who got blown up for a 4-yard loss, and then we had to punt the ball away. Luckily, Kentucky couldn't score, but they were playing great defense, but I made an insane play on 2nd and 10, running to my left and throwing it 60 yards downfield to Rich Crawford, who caught it in the red zone. And then on 1st and goal, I was waiting for Carson Gay to get open on the corner route, but he was not really following through with his route, so I took it into the end zone myself for another touchdown, and we were only up by 8 points after Kentucky scored on their next drive. To start the 4th quarter, Coach handed the entire offense off to me, allowing me to call every play. He recognized that nothing we were doing in the second half was really working, and we were getting mostly lucky off of big plays with my legs. I found our backup tight end and wide receiver Kenny Wiggins for a big gain, and then I found none other than the man, Rich Crawford, for his 3rd touchdown. All 3 of my touchdown passes have gone to Rich Crawford at this point. You'd think we'd have easily secured the win after that last touchdown, but Kentucky scored on their next drive, and then they got an onside and scored another TD. My 40-yard carry with 40 seconds left, though, iced the game, and we walked out with a big victory over our state rivals, and we are 3-0 on the season. Let me know if you're excited to see the rest of my senior year. Also, a quick look at the Heisman race. I'm at the number 4 spot along only halfbacks. I'll see you in the next video.